the night shift, night shift, night shift. It's the night shift, night shift. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know this is Punch on Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself, aka El Adobo de Sazón El Borracho, El Pastor de Boxeo. Man, I just feel like talking boxing in the midnight, New York City time, Eastern time, one. What time is it? Um, 1:14 a.m. Damn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of stories, man. A lot of stories, man. I haven't had the time to go live earlier because you know what I'm saying, doing a couple of things with the fams. It's summer, y'all already know how it is. Kid playing the AAU, y'all already know how it is. Um, but man, I just want to chop it up, man. Y'all see the thumbnail, see the thumbnail. What's good, y'all, man? Smash the like button. I know, unexpected live, unexpected live, unexpected live. But hey, let's chop it up. Let's chop it up, folks. Hold on. What's the first topic at hand? First topic at hand. Hold on. Hold on. So y'all see the thumbnail, right? See, hold on. Let me take the donations off. Hold on. Let me take this thing out for a minute. Smash the like, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like. Y'all already know y'all tuning in to Punch on Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine, el adobo, la sazón, el borracho, el pastor de boxeo. Hold on. Where's that? All right. So I was tuning into this video. Steven Jackson, former NBA player. He had the incorporating himself into the sport of boxing, but dude just ain't make no sense, right? So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick, and let's talk about other things that's happening in the sport of boxing. You already know we're gonna be talking about this. Let me put the pictures up so y'all can get geared on what we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be talking about this. We're going to be talking about the ESPN pound for pound rankings, new pound for pound rankings that doesn't have Devin the Dream Haney. But hey, I thought that Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia fight didn't take place. It was a no contest. So why would they take Devin Haney out the pound for pound list if there was a no contest? Because you can't take it, because we all witnessed it. But we're going to be talking about that in a few. Also going to be talking about Crawford loses to Boots. Does Crawford lose to Jerome Boots Ennis, who just had a spectacular performance this past weekend in Philadelphia, almost 15K, 15,000 out there in attendance. Wow, I was very, very surprised with the turnout. Is a blessing for Jerome Boots Ennis. A long time coming. You feel me? He's been Jerome Boots Ennis started his career alongside with the likes of Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. But these guys have accomplished way more than Jerome Boots Ennis. But I think now that we could see that when he with the right promoter and Eddie Hearn, they're gonna get into the promised land. I believe so. Hopefully he gets that Terrence Book Crawford fight, right? But when if and when he gets it, will the turnout be that Jerome Boots Ennis outboxes or just beats Terrence Book Crawford? We're going to be talking about that as well. Also, we're going to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen, the WBC have now officially ordered the Shakur Stevenson to defend his WBC lightweight world title versus the dangerous William Cepeda, who signed with Golden Boy Promotions, did his thing in his last outing, beating the guy that Pitbull Cruz had trouble beating. And then to follow it up, to piggyback off that announcement, Oscar de la Hoya gave us this announcement. Oscar de la Hoya on the WBC ordering Shakur Stevenson versus William Cepeda. Check this out. William Cepeda is so badass. He has 4 sanctioning bodies to choose from. Nobody would tell him who he must fight next. I don't know, man. Oscar de la Hoya, you trying to tell us indirectly that you ain't gonna make the fight with Shakur Stevenson and William Cepeda? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Or are you trying to tell us that you're gonna try to wiggle William Cepeda out of this situation? His biggest fight, his best accomplishment, his biggest opportunity up to date. Now, last year we seen enough people ducking Shakur Stevenson. Pitbull Cruz had a chance to fight William Cepeda, didn't. Frank Martin, Lomachenko, Kambosos, Haney, Tanky. Everybody had a chance to fight Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Even people was getting mandated to fight Shakur Stevenson for the vacant WBC world title. You feel me? So, say the people in the chat was good, Kenny. Unexpected live, but I'm here. That's what I'm talking about. It's unexpected. It's all good. You feel me? Sometimes gotta be spontaneous. Kenny in the building was good, man. Dawa in the building was good. Sucker in the building. All rest in the building. He said, I'm gonna be honest, Punch. I say what it is. A lot of black people, a lot of black channels hate and discredit Teofimo Lopez so much. It's crazy and just plain haters. You know, they don't like when the race car comes out. You feel me? What's good, Mars? I saw the post, the thumbnail disrespectful, very disrespectful, right? And this is why. See, I don't give a damn what a lot of people tell me, but this is why I support Teofimo Lopez and I try to you know always keep the name out there because there's not a lot of people that support Teofimo Lopez. There's not a lot of channels out there that's willing to support Teofimo Lopez and call it for what it is. I don't give a damn what y'all. Punch, you a Teo fanboy? No, I'm a fanboy of boxing, and I like to support great things, great fighters that try to dare to be great, that do good things in the sport of boxing, that holds the morals of the sport of boxing, the competition, the challenges, huh? And Teofimo Lopez of this young generation is just that. Teofimo Lopez got the best win, the best two wins of probably of this generation. Not only the young generation, but this generation. And to say that these guys, you're gonna mention Tank, Shakur, Haney, and Ryan without mentioning Teofimo Lopez? You're gonna mention Tank, Shakur. Let's be honest. I like Shakur, but Shakur was never in this conversation about the four kings. It was never about Shakur Stevenson. I don't know how he puts him there. Maybe because Shakur Stevenson now is in 100. Remember, Shakur Stevenson was not in the 135-pound division. All these guys was in the 135-pound division and had the potential to fight one another. Shakur's not supposed to be in the four kings. Now, of course, just he recently got to the 135-pound division, in which now people saying, what about a fight with Shakur and Tank? What about a fight with Shakur and Haney? What about a fight with Shakur and Ryan and Teo and stuff like that? What's good, Lisa? Lisa in the building. What's good, Lisa Stone in the building? What's good? She said, it seems like boxing is only supporting Tank in the lower division. It's true, Lisa. I'm seeing it. And again, you know, I'm a fan of his skill set, but I'm not a fan of of his resume. I'm not a fan of the career moves in terms of resume. Nah, look, you getting your money, get your money. You know what I'm saying? You got a niche fan base. They go out there to support. I've been to a Tank fight. I think is a great event. I think he's good for boxing. Eventually, I think that if he get there to be great, of course, he'll be good for boxing. His skill set, you know what I'm saying? I believe that he's a special fighter, but he hasn't done anything special. Yeah, he hasn't done anything special. I believe that his skill set is special. I want to believe that, but he hasn't fought any elite fighter. And Roy Jones Jr., shout out to Roy Jones Jr., he was my favorite fighter. He was my favorite. Look, I had three favorite fighters coming up, and it was Roy Jones Jr. I used to call them the Three Amigos. Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson, Pretty Boy Floyd. Like that was the era that of course, I like the other fighters. I like the Oscar de la Hoya and stuff like that. But people that I like emulated, like when I would go to the gym and stuff like that, or we playing slap boxing or whatever, or we fighting, or am I fighting? I just used to in my head, I thought I was Roy Jones Jr. Right? But and look, I'm not blaming Roy Jones Jr. for this for this interview because he's a fighter, and you know what I'm saying. I think that he just mentioned these guys because Steven Jackson presented those names to him. You know what I'm saying? So he was just answering the questions. So when Steven Jackson was saying, "What you think about Tank? What you think about Shakur? What you think about Ryan? What you think about Haney?" He never said Teofimo Lopez. And if Steven, and this is what I mean about giving people the platform, the jobs in the boxing industry, because he been on Showtime, he's showcased on the Zone. These guys give him a lot of airtime when it comes to the sport of boxing, but this guy he don't know ish about the sport of boxing. Like this guy don't know nothing But Showtime gives them a whole platform to talk about boxing. How can you say that these are the four kings and the guy that's the most accomplished, you keep him out? The guy that is the most accomplished, you keep him out. Put it this way. Tell me anybody who's a king in their division. Is Tank the king in his division? No. Does he got a lineal championship belt? No. Is Haney the king of his division? No. Is Ryan the king of his division? No. What division, right? Is Shakur the king of his division? No. So why, if there's, look, we could honestly say there's probably only one king. There's probably only one king. There is no four kings. But this is why I feel like this is my duty, is my responsibility to talk about Tia, to support. Because if I feel in this community, if I don't say the truth, nobody else is gonna say it. A lot of these channels don't rock with Tia. A lot of these channels hate Tia. A lot of these YouTube channels don't give it the benefit of the doubt, don't give it his just due, don't give it his greatness, don't give him nothing. They will bless up Tank before Tia. And all those guys in that photo, they all know what Teofimo Lopez has done. Think about it. We're talking about November, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Vasily Lomachenko. Now, now, Teofimo Lopez did the dirty, like, man, I wish I want to be in those conversations with these guys. Because really, I would have been, yo, Steven Jackson. You talking about Tank Davis. Um, he's gonna be facing Vasily Lomachenko. Do you know that the guy that y'all snub in y'all four king assessment, he beat Vasily Lomachenko. He did Gervonta Tank Davis dirty work. It's crazy. Like, look, it's a good fight. Tank versus Loma is a good fight. It's a good fight. I think they got good momentum going into that fight, a unification bout. But think about it, a unification bout. That's Gervonta Tank Davis' first unification bout. That's and can we say that Lomachenko elite, still elite? He said, look at Melo. Tio is corny, dog. Quote, black people, but say keep the black fighters. That's why dummies, I don't know. Y'all get emotional when it comes to Tia from Lopez. I've heard every fighter say something about Mexicans, pander to the Mexicans. I see Gervonta Tank Davis with a sombrero with the Mexican colors. I seen Earl Spence with the sombrero with the Mexican colors versus Mikey Garcia. I seen Chris Colbert. I seen Montana Love. I seen Shakur Stevenson versus Gonzalez. Like, for real, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Everybody, yeah, Teofimo Lopez has an opinion, just like the other guys have their opinion. Just like Devin Haney said he would never lose to a white boy. He has his opinion. You feel me? When we're talking about skills, we're talking about accomplishments. See, you're talking about feelings, Mello. You're talking about, oh, he's corny because he quotes black people. He quotes, oh, stop. Coda in the building. What's good, man? Coda. Fire and ice in the building. What's good, man? And that's what I mean. Like, look, right now, it's always, my channel always starts with a race baiter in the comment section. We ain't even talking about race. We're talking about the quote unquote four kings and the king that is left out. That's what we're talking about. Brona makes racist jokes and against Pac-Man and no one bats an eye. The hypocrisy. You know what it is. Also, you know what it is, Kenny. That I just think that other ethnicity doesn't like they just take it as jokes, like a joke. They don't take it to the heart. I ain't never seen nobody say, "Yo, you call me a wetback. Yo, you got problems with me. You call me a spit. Yo, wetback." Like I don't think it pokes people's emotions like that. Lisa said, "Watch they say Tank pound for pound number one, and when he knocks out." Oh, I already know that. We already know that, Lisa. As soon as Gervonta Tan Davis knocks out Vasily Lomachenko, is like they're gonna act like Vasily Lomachenko never lost before. They're gonna say that this is the most epic performance. Oh my God, he's pound for pound number one. That's the best win. Because you know how they're gonna pump this fight. They're gonna pump, yo. I'm gonna tell you like this. Look, Top Rank loves Vasily Lomachenko. They love Lomachenko like that was their own child. I think they love Vasily Lomachenko more than any. I think Top Rank loves Vasily Lomachenko more than Floyd Mayweather and Golden and Oscar De La Hoya put together. I think they love Lomachenko because I think that Lomachenko was one of the guys that signed with Top Rank and never left them, and he stayed faithful to Top Rank. They do anything for the Vasily Lomachenko. Can you tell me? Think about this. If I was a company, put it this way. Put it this way. Look, I'm gonna say it again. I like the fight with Lomachenko and Gervonta Tan Davis. It's a good fight. But let me tell you that. But to be honest, I think Shakur versus William Zepeda to me is more interesting. Because to me, if Tank beats Loma, all right, you did what Salido, T.O., Haney did, Whoopi, okay. At this stage of Vasily Lomachenko's career, at this stage of Vasily Lomachenko's career, everybody understand that if he loses, it's almost like he's Lomachenko right now is in a win-win situation. He's not gonna lose. That's like when Manny Pacquiao was fighting Ugas. If he loses, that you don't lose. That like you already. Everybody understand where he's at in his career. Vasily Lomachenko didn't even want to fight no more. Look at just go back to his last fight after George Cambosa and listen to the post-fight interview in the locker room. He don't want to fight. He don't really want to fight, but there's a big check on the table, and now I think to be honest, they're persuading Loma to keep on fighting for the money. And this is the reason why I think that Lomachenko is gonna lose versus Gervonta Tank Davis. I really don't think that he has enough left in terms of stomach the sport. Just listen to what look, and we all know in boxing, once somebody's contemplating retirement, we already know he comes up with a bad performance. Once you got one foot in and one foot out, you ain't gonna perform good. Skillfully, we go skill for skill. I think that this fight is a 50-50 fight at this point. But that I think that Tank is gonna have trouble with the feints, in my opinion, because I think he just never been in the ring at the professional level. Nothing like Vasily Lomachenko. Because he never faced an elite fighter. He never faced that type of elite fighter. And let me tell you something about your if you notice about Gervonta Tan Davis, he sometimes well now I was gonna say like he shy away with when somebody has that type of offensive arsenal because he was backing up with Pitbull Cruz. He Javante Tan Davis ain't had the killer instinct versus no Pitbull Cruz. That was a whole different type of animal. But he did pretty good in the outside and stuff like that. I think that Vasily Lomachenko is gonna if Vasily Lomachenko comes out firing with his feints, you know what I'm saying? His feints just sets everything up. And if he gets called with some feints, we already know that Tank he's not a high volume puncher, but he's probably one of the most accurate power punchers in the sport of boxing. I think that he could hurt Vasily Lomachenko. But if it goes a whole 12 and Vasily Lomachenko doesn't get knocked down, I could see Vasily Lomachenko winning this fight off points. Off points. Um, man, with the $5 super chat, good looking out, my brother. Appreciate you. Said the black community are always hating on Tio. That's 100% facts. Tio is the main king of this new generation. Facts. Facts. I can't believe these guys left Tio. Yo, they didn't even talk about him. Like, I don't. Guys? Just let me know why. Y'all know I support Tio, and I not only support Tio because I like his skills and talent. It's because he's the most accomplished one. It's because he was the first one to dare to be great of this young generation. He the one that set the tone of this young generation. This generation of the Haneys and Shakurs and Tios and Boots and Virgil and Bam. It was Tio who set the tone. How can you leave him out? In any boxing conversation, you don't leave Teofimo Lopez out. And then, guess who Teofimo Lopez is calling out? Terrence Bud Crawford. Who's calling out Terrence Bud Crawford other than T1 Boots in the world of boxing? Nobody in the 154-pound division is calling out Terrence Bud Crawford. Ain't nobody in the 160. Nobody is calling out Terrence Bud Crawford, who is pound for pound, 2-3. You can flip it around. But Tio calls him out. He's crazy. But we know he ain't crazy because when he called Loma, he got Loma. When he called Josh Taylor, he got Josh Taylor. I think that people was just afraid. I think you know what? Maybe I think I know why they hate Tio. I think that, and I said this the other day, but let me say it to the people, so the new people that might be listening. I think they hate Tio because who the hell likes to be humbled all the time? See, Tio have humbled the boxing world more than any other fighter in the past years. Teofimo Lopez has humbled the boxing world more than any other fighter in the past year. We could say that Ryan Garcia humbled the boxing world versus Devin Haney. We could say that who else? Like, who has humbled the boxing world? Like, where the majority of the boxing world saying you can't do this, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna win, and you win. And you made everybody swallow their words when you make the majority of the boxing world eat their crow. Nobody did it like Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko and versus Josh Taylor. And I think that because he's calling out Terrence Bud Crawford, some people would try to be Terrence Bud Crawford's secret agent or babysitter and say, "Oh, no, Tio, you don't deserve Terrence Bud Crawford. No, 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 no. Terrence Bud Crawford will beat you up. You don't deserve him." Man, I'm a boxing fan, man. I'm a fight fan. I want to see fights. Today, nowadays, y'all fight fans, y'all, y'all kill fights. Y'all have all these explanations why a fighter shouldn't fight this other fighter. I don't understand this. Now, I'm not gonna. Of course, some of the people are gonna be like, "Well, you're contradicting yourself because when Bud Crawford is calling out Canelo Alvarez, you don't approve of that fight, Punch." I don't approve of that because to me it's a fantasy fight. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. Ain't nobody jumping on 3 divisions up to fight the best at 168. Ain't no that's nah. Nobody doing that. I'm not a slave to the moment. Like, I like Dare to Be Great, but that makes sense. I just watched a 154 undisputed champion go up against Canelo Alvarez, and he couldn't do nothing with him. What makes you think after the Jamel Charlo moved up that I'm like, well, Bud Crawford could do better? Why? Because he beat the hell out of Earl Spence? That's the only reason why y'all think that he could go and fight Canelo Alvarez. That's the only reason why people think that Bud Crawford could go up against Canelo Alvarez is because he beat Earl Spence, a guy that many of us thought that he was going to beat Earl Spence anyway. Bud Crawford was the favorite to beat Earl Spence. That's the only reason why people think or just saying that Bud Crawford, because before that, ain't nobody talking about no Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Before that fight, ain't nobody saying, yo, Bud Crawford versus Canelo, let's do it. Nah. Y'all slave to the moment. Y'all slave to a performance. Punch, Tio want the smoke. Let's go. Yeah. I never seen this in boxing when somebody wants to smoke, and many people in the sport of boxing. Really, Tio? You really want that? I'm just moving one weight class up or 2 weight classes up. It's nothing. I'm the linear at 140. Here's the linear at 147. What is this big deal that y'all trying to keep me from daring to be great? What is this big deal? Like, talk to me, folks. What is this big deal that y'all have trying to prevent or trying to shame Tio not to dare to be great? Like, we always want fighters to dare to be great, but when it comes to Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo Lopez has a whole definition. There's a whole definition. Now, everybody else could dare to be great, but he can't. No, you can't. Pow pow. Stay in your place. Pow pow. Stay in your place. You can't be great, Teofimo Lopez. No, no. I don't like the way you perform, so no, no, no. Facts. Josh Taylor was the boogeyman and Teal destroyed him. Exactly. That makes sense. Teal versus Crawford makes zero sense. See, that's that because Coda's one of them type of fans. One of the type of fans. Doesn't allow people to dare to be great. Dude, Punch, you always surprise me with the new perspective every time. Keep spitting truth. Good looking out, man. Appreciate you. Steve Claggett is tough. Yes, he is. Lisa Snow said, I think there's nothing wrong with Tio saying Tio versus Brian, then Crawford, or Tio versus Boots. Yeah, I like Tio versus Brian Norman Jr. You know what I'm saying? That's a three division. But you know what? You know what, Lisa? If he gets it, he still won't even be respected. Because it's almost like, what's that song? If you don't love me right now, or what is it? If you don't know me right now, you will never, ever, ever know me, or ever, ever, ever love me. How does it go? Is it know me or love me? If you don't love me right now, is it that song? Is it know me or love me? Right on the storm in the building. What's good? Ray is in the building. Frank in the building. If y'all don't respect Teofimo Lopez and you know what? We always bypass that Richard Comey performance because the Vasily because think about it. Just look at after the Nakatani fight and look what people said about Teofimo Lopez versus Richard Comey. People was actually saying that it was almost a 50-50 fight because the way that he performed versus Nakatani. And Bradley said that Teofimo Lopez is not going to be ready for Richard Comey. It's funny when Teofimo Lopez fights him in this community, they say when Teofimo Lopez fights Lomachenko he's just hyped to be the next. He's just from top rank. It's just Bob Arum blowing smoke. He's not all that. Now Tank is fighting Loma. Oh man, Loma's great. Loma's this. Loma's a Hall of Famer. Loma's the greatest. Loma's this. If you Fire Knight says, if you don't know me right by now, you exactly right. So think about it. Even if he fights Brian Norman Jr., he goes up and become a three-division world champion. People are not gonna care. It's almost like people didn't care when Shakur Stevenson became a three-division world champion. Everybody was talking about Twitterson. Yeah, that Edo de los Santos, that fight that nobody liked. But guess what? He became a three-division world champion. And let me tell you something about Teofimo Lopez as well. See, Teofimo Lopez is a guy. Think about how everybody gets their belt. Think about it. Think about how most of the fighters get their belts when they get their first strap. Most of the fighters, vacant titles, interim, then elevated. Teofimo Lopez beat champions. Every time Teofimo Lopez became a world champion, he beat a champion. When he unified, he beat a champion. He beat a champion in Richard Coleman. He beat a champion in Lomachenko. When he beat a champion in Josh Taylor. Can we say that about everybody? Or they fighting for a vacant title. And if he goes out there and fights Brian Norman Jr. and Brian Norman Jr. get elevated as a WBO champion, if Richard and I think they're gonna wait. I think they're gonna wait after August 3rd and let Bud Crawford make that type of decision because he's the WBO super champion. So if Brian Norman Jr. become a champion, then Teofimo Lopez is gonna be fighting a champion. See, that's one thing I like about Teofimo Lopez's career as well. Teofimo Lopez never got a vacant title or fighting for a vacant title. He became a two-division world champion because he was fighting for a vacant title. No. He's an interim title holder that moved up and elevated. He's not no Boots. Shout out to Boots, but Boots was elevated. Boots ain't beat Spence. Boots didn't beat Bud. We know how Devin Haney got his belt. He didn't beat to be in precision. If he was never elevated to that, he probably would have never got an opportunity to fight George Camboso. But he won it from George Camboso, but he didn't get the WBC like that. Shakur Stevenson fought for a vacant title. Then he fought for a vacant title in the lightweight division. right? The Gonzalez fight, Joel Gonzalez, that's for a vacant title, right? He said poor Teal doesn't get mentioned. Yeah, because people don't want to value boxing, the sport. And then when you get a circus, then you get mad at the circus. Then people get mad at why Jake Paul's in boxing. Well, y'all don't give a fuck about the real boxing anyway. Y'all don't care about the accomplished ones. Y'all don't give a damn about, see, this right now, this is the generation. And everything has its evolution. That's why we have to keep the morals of the sport of boxing. The fans have to keep it because everything is an evolution, just like Floyd Mayweather, right? The evolution of Floyd Mayweather, you know what's the evolution of Floyd Mayweather? Perfection. And that's why now you see boxing fans that even if a dude get caught, if a dude get dropped, if a dude get caught, dropped, oh my God. If a guy loses one time, he's done. Because now Floyd Mayweather set a bar. He set a bar that you got to be perfect now. And not only got to be perfect is I don't even have to brawl. I really don't have to fight. I just could be defensive and box you and talk shit, and that's the blueprint. So now you see that evolution of fighters like Devin and Shakur and stuff like that that really don't want to take that type of risk when they fight. Because if they do take that type of risk, you get knocked out like Ryan Garcia if you're not prepared to take that type of risk. Right? Now is the evolution, right? So now the evolution of a pound for pound list like this, the new ESPN pound for pound list, and I was talking about that. I did a video about it, and I said, and I understand that a lot of people always trying to say, like, yo, but a pound for pound list is opinionated. Pound for pound list is opinionated. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean that. Yes, it does mean something. I'm telling y'all right now, it does mean something. People, y'all need to quit it and stop saying these pound for pounds is just opinion. It don't mean something. It does mean something because the pound for pound list of an ESPN, the pound for pound list of a Ring magazine, those people, most of them, 90% of that panelists, they got the power of the pen of putting the fighters into the Hall of Fame. So if they think of you highly today, then that means maybe when you retire, they'll think highly of you to put you into the Hall of Fame. But if they don't think highly of you in the current era, in the current state, when you done, then you're gonna be like, yo, why this guy's not in the Hall of Fame? I'm gonna tell you like this: these guys don't respect a Jamel Charlo like that. They never had him really in the Hall of Fame. And Jamel Charlo, I think, is the most devalued and disrespected, undisputed of this era. And they barely had him in the. Mike Coppinger never had Jamel Charlo into the Hall of Fame. I mean, in his pound for pound list. So now, when let's say Jamel Charlo retires, and then you got a Mike Coppinger, you think he's gonna put him into the Hall of Fame? No, he never even considered him an elite fighter in his prime as an undisputed. But look at this. You got Shakur. They got the Spaniard flag behind Tio. I don't know why they don't got the American flag, because I know he wasn't born. I know he was born here, but maybe I don't know, maybe they're trying to find a new. I know that I know that his grandparents are from out there, but maybe they're trying to find a new fan base since they're like, you know what, damn, the Honduras fan base is not really popping like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Tio number 10 on the list because he lost a trash ass Cambosos. But let me ask you, was he really that much of a trash? Or was it that you didn't nobody was following George Camboso? I mean, right after that, George Camboso's fighting Devin Haney and then Vasily Lomachenko. Maxi Hugh, I believe that Maxi Hugh beat him, but George Camboso only losing to the elite fighters. So how much garbage is George Camboso? George Camboso went 24 rounds with Devin Haney. Couldn't even drop him. No, 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 no. You saying that George Camboso is garbage because you just never expected anything from George Camboso. Tio was hurt. Camboso trash, bro. No, we want to say he trash. You want to say he's trash, Coda, but he not trash when he beat Mickey Bay. He wasn't trash when he beat Lee Selby. And if y'all heard my prediction to the fight with Teofimo Lopez and George Camboso, I didn't make a prediction. I made a breakdown. I said, and the video was still up. I said that George Camboso will be a harder fight for Tio than Vasily Lomachenko. Still up. And mad people said, "Yo, punch you capping, punch you capping." And I said that George Camboso will take more risks than Vasily Lomachenko. Tio didn't respect. Knight Rider said Tio didn't respect Camboso, which is part of the reason he lost. His dad was asking why he hadn't blown him out by the third round. I think it would. I think, in my opinion, both could be. I mean, that could be true, but I know for a fact he wasn't. He was not supposed to be in that ring. But he got in that ring, and it is what it is. That's all I could say about that. Now, if I wasn't around To leading up to the fight, then I think I'd be sounding a lot like y'all. You know what I'm saying? Saying, "Damn, man, he probably wasn't. Maybe he overlooked them." Blah, blah, blah. But I asked Tio, why you gonna be why you stepping inside the ring? Why you don't have to fight? I was telling Tio why. Punch, Tio is a god amongst kings. About amongst them kings. Tio was COVID sick. Nah, he was not fit to fight. I think that proves my point. He thought he could beat him not fully healthy. Maybe that could be true as well. That could be true as well. I think that him being less than 50%, he felt that he was, you know what I'm saying, good enough, skillful enough just to beat Cambosa in that condition. So that could be true as well. That could be true as well. I think if the business of boxing would have respected Teofimo Lopez, I don't think that he would have taken the Triller deal and then go take it a purse bid. It was that he felt he was highly disrespected because after the Vasily Lomachenko fight, first he was promised a pay an amount to fight Vasily Lomachenko. And then after he beat Vasily Lomachenko, you would assume that he'll be respected, but they was throwing pennies to his face to fight a Camboso. He was gonna get paid less than Vasily to the Vasily Lomachenko fight. And that's the reason why he took the purse bid. And even David McWaters did say in the interview, he said that if they just would have gave us $2 million, we would have took the $2 million. They didn't even want to give him $2 million after the Vasily Lomachenko fight. Teal said he wasn't hungry recently and hasn't been as focused as it shows. I don't know. I mean, when leading up to the fight, he's saying that he's highly focused and stuff like that. Maybe after the fight, this time around, I really didn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't know too much about leading up to the fight with Steve Claggett. To be honest, I know. Reyes says, but yo, why everyone ignore the fact that Loma lost to Salido? It's funny. People, what's funny? That people ignore the fight with Salido, but they love to remember when George Cambosa beat Tio. I guess it was a different time. But let me tell you something about Vasily Lomachenko. They love him so much that in his third fight, he got a title shot. He lost. He got a title shot early, lost to Salido, and then after losing his second fight of his career, he gets a title shot next. That's unheard of. That's unheard of. And that's one thing that I think that I understand why people have this this animosity with say Lomachenko's career, because I feel he's gotten the opportunity that others, he instantly gets the opportunity. Like, he loses to Devin Haney and then he gets a title shot with George Camboso. And then instead of Top Rank saying this, because in the end of the day, in boxing as a company, you want to move into the next, right? You want to move into the next future, the next frontier, right? Just like what they did with Manny Pacquiao and Jeff Horn, right? Okay, let's give Manny Pacquiao Jeff Horn and stuff like that. Jeff Horn, we signed Jeff Horn, and boom. I wouldn't put Loma versus Tank. See, I would have said Shakur, we're gonna resign you. Then we're gonna give you Tank. Why not give Shakur Tank? Why give Loma Tank? If you're a company and this guy's on his way out, why give him that? Give Shakur Tank, and you could build off that. Even a loss, you could still build off that. You're supposed to go into the new era, and I think they love Vasily Lomachenko so much. So Vasily Lomachenko gets Tank, he loses, then they lose the belt for the company, because that's what the promotional company really cares about, is the belts as well, to keep them in position. Why you think that Oscar De La Hoya is questioning this? Hold on. Oscar De La Hoya on the WBC ordering Shakur Stevenson versus William Cepeda. Check this out. William Cepeda is no badass. He has four sanctioning bodies to choose from. Nobody would tell him who he must fight next. You know what Oscar De La Hoya is trying to say in other words? And shout out to Oscar De La Hoya, one of my favorite fighters, one of the best dudes in the sport of boxing, and showed me love as well. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledged punch drunk boxing and gave me the opportunity to get an exclusive on the channel. He doesn't even do that, and much respect. But again, I got to keep it unbiased, logically, and objectively, and I know that people don't like that. You lose, in boxing, if you keep it real, just a tiny bit, bro, with people that you may be affiliated with, they throw you to the trash, bro. It's like they don't want you to keep it real. They don't want you to like. Everybody want everybody to be a yes man, bro. That shit is trash. Like nobody wants to allow other people to just be real and genuine and tell them the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Me as a human being, I don't want no yes man around me. I want my circle to be strong, to educate me, also hold me accountable, also support me. That's why you see Shakur Stevenson all crazy right now, dissing everybody, because he just can't take one little criticism. You know you boring, my brother. Don't get mad because other people say that you boring. You the one that keeps on apologizing after your fight. You apologize after the Nakatilia. You apologize after the Edo de los Santos. You know that you're not an overwhelming type of fighter. Don't get mad because people be like, "Oh, you're boring." You know that you don't have you don't even want to fight to excite the fans. You're the type of fighter that want to see the fans quiet. Nah, these fighters, nah. I always say modern day warriors, modern day gladiators, the one that put their life on the line for pure entertainment. But I'm saying like this, man, in boxing, bro, these are most of these motherfuckers are the most emotional creatures, bro, you could ever meet, bro. These guys are so emotional, man. So emo, they take everything to the heart. You would think that these guys have the eye of the tiger. Nothing phases them because you know what I'm saying. They're trained for this. They train to be focused. They train to be focused every second. But nah, man. In boxing, bunch of backstabbers, bunch of backstabbers, a bunch of scavengers. When it comes to boxing, they can't wait till something falls. Like managers can't and promoters can't wait till something falls so they could just pick it up and stuff like that. But they was shitting on it before when they wasn't with them. Um, and fighters that always wanted this constructive criticism. And I said this to myself, to be honest. I said, yo, the more I said this a while ago, and I said, yo, I don't even want to be deep into boxing because I'm gonna I'm gonna fall out of love with boxing because I know how much of a gangster's playground it is. How much is a snakish, is a you can't trust nobody. Everybody's about themselves. Everybody's a user. This is boxing, bro. The boxing is worse than than the block, bro. Boxing is worse than the block. Worse than the block. I give everybody their praise, show everybody their love. Yo, you the man. Hype certain fighters that probably doesn't even deserve to be hyped. I'd be like, yo, one criticism, ya yo soy el malo. Yo soy el diablo after one criticism. Crazy. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Why y'all think to be honest, think about it. Like for the people that been following the channel, I don't even do a lot of interviews like I used to. Because I don't want to. First, I'll get an interview and it's popping. And then all I get, I'm gonna tell you like this, folks. 50% of my interviews, 50% of my interviews, I will get a call back from somebody in their team, the fighter themselves. Somebody will be like, hey, can you take this down? 50% of the interviews that y'all seen, 50% of them came back and said, can you take that down or something like that? Or can you take this part out? Can you take this down? Can you take this little part out? Them never respecting that you took your 2, 3, 4 hours of your time because this is punch drunk boxing is my work. Punch is a business. Don't take it personal. Keep working. You know what? I understand that, Kenny, but I'm gonna tell you something about me, and I think that this is something that my circle knows about me, and I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna let y'all know. There's something about me that I'm very content with. That for the most people, they don't feel like it's a good idea. That I shouldn't be this way, but I'm just like this, and I'm comfortable. It's two things about me that I shouldn't. They say most of the people that know me and most of the people in general feels like you shouldn't have or you shouldn't do. I take everything personal. I can't take everything business because I'm not in business with everybody. Most people be like, nah, Punch, you can't be like that. That's just me. I'm comfortable that way. I'm comfortable that way that I take everything personal. And I let my circle, my friends and family knows I take everything personal. I don't take anything business because I don't do business with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I understand exactly what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying. But that's just who I am. I'm content with who I am at this stage in my life. I'm content. I take everything personal because you know what? I draw the line, and everybody knows that I draw a line somewhere. So you can't you can't push the envelope on this. Hey yo, nah, man, he take it personal. Damn, you take it personal. Yo, why you take a personal punch? Yeah, because I have a personal friendship, personal relationship with you. So I'm gonna take everything personal. There's certain things that I that I feel that other people may do, but I don't have a personal relationship with them, so I'm taking it personal. That's just who I am. Another thing is I hold grudges. Yes, I love holding grudges because it lets me know not to fuck with anything like you. My grudges keep me on my toes. Me taking shit personal, it keeps everybody around me on their toes. Get it? That's just who I am. I hold grudges because it keeps me on my toes. I take everything personal because it keeps everybody that fucks with me on their toes. So those are the two things that people, nah, that's just who I am. I'm comfortable that way. Nah, you know what it is? You can't hold grudges. You can't have all that bowled up in your heart. I'm cool with it. I know how to channel that shit. I know how to channel my grudges. Nah, if you effed me over a long time, no, no. I forgive, but not for. I forgive, but I don't forget. Man, ain't no such thing as not forgetting, bro. I hate those. I hate those robotic saying. I forgive, but I don't forget. Nigga, you never. If you never forgive and you never forget. Like, yeah, I forgive you because you cheated on me, and you let another PP or get in you or in a relationship, right? I forgive you. Forgive you for what? What am I forgiving you about? Thank you, Lisa. Facts. I don't forgive and I don't forget. There's not. I don't care what anybody says. There's no such thing as forgiving and then forgetting, or forgetting or forgiving. Both align with them. Both of them coexist. Nah, Taurus. But I really don't know nothing about the signs like that. But in this boxing, so and see, there's certain reasons why. Oh, yo, but you ain't yo, you don't take a personal punch. You know what I'm saying? Just keep working. Just get these. Don't worry, man. Nah, man, I can't. I can't. I can't. I don't wanna. If I don't want to be. I don't look. I do not want to be nowhere. Who wants to be? Think about this, folks. Who wants to be somewhere that they not? Then you're not wanted. Who wants to be somewhere that you're not wanted? Who wants to be somewhere that there may be people that have it, when it's almost like in family or in friends. Hey, yo, your boy threw a get together or a party, but he didn't invite you. Oh shit, yo, I forgot to hit you up. Nah, motherfucker, you never forget to hit me up. You just didn't want me. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm trying to say? I don't want to be nowhere I'm not wanted. I don't want no media credentials if you don't really want me there, and I have to go past the media handler to get it. I said this a while ago. I said, yo, I'm gonna be blackballed from boxing. And the only people that's gonna give me my respect are the fighters themselves. The fighter themselves has to be like at the powers that be. Nah, I'm effing with Punch. Punch is coming to this event. Matter of fact, Punch is coming with me. None of these motherfuckers do it like no, none of these motherfuckers do that shit. But yeah, me on a YouTube and platform, I'm fighting. Hey yo, I'm gonna tell you like this. Black ball from Top Rank. I'm black ball from Top Rank because y'all know I support Teofimo Lopez. Cold blooded. I'm black ball from Top Rank. I'm black ball from PBC because I went at it with not at it, but I was doing content, dissing Leonard Ellaby and stuff like that. I was calling him Pinocchio. I don't know where I'm at with Matchroom. Shout out to Matchroom, but I don't know. I don't. The last one, the last. I'm cool with Anthony Levy. He's mad cool. Anthony Levy is man cool. So shout out to Anthony Levy. He gives me media credentials and stuff like that. I got the media credentials for Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. And shout out to 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 Matchroom. Matchroom is cool. The people in Matchroom, cool. Ak, Barack, they're not with the zone anymore, but the zone they cool. It's safer to hold grudges. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Exactly. That's me. I'm not going where I'm not wanted. When I can be where I'm loved, why try to impress people? Facts. So when people like, yo, don't take it personal, it's not even about personal. I mean, like, I'm s- I'm just calling it what it is. See, I'm gonna say it again. And there's some boxing content creators that want to say what I'm saying, but they don't want to say it because then they're gonna be like, "Oh man, what happened? They don't do this for you. Oh, you butt hurt about this. Oh, you butt hurt about this punch, man. I take it personal. Yeah, I take it personal, motherfucker. If I fuck with you, bro, you better let these motherfuckers know that you fucking with me. Don't throw me under the bus. Now I'm like that. I mean, this YouTube shit is just YouTube, but nah, man, I'm a street dude. So I certain things that I see, I'm like, I don't like characters out here in boxing. These characters are fugazi out here, bro. Who wants to go party? They want. They don't want you there. Do you do me? If they don't invite me, well, guess what? Next time I have a party, you're not invited. Nah. The it's trash. The support is trash. Not I'm not talking about y'all, but in boxing, it's like I told. Put it this way. Put it this way, because I keep it real. I hope sign these certain fighters, right? I hope sign these certain fighters, and they made their situation impossible, which also affect me helping other fighters get signed. Because when there's a effed up situation, when there's an effed up situation, then when you ready to help somebody else out, for example, this is the reason why people don't mix business, business and friendship, or business with family, right? Because if they F you over, then it's like, it's like double with it. But helping these Dominican fighters, right? Help them get signed. Then they effed over on the contract that they had, right? That I helped them get with, right? But because of me helping them, they're still in position to get certain help. I helped them get to that other stage of their career. Now that they're in that stage of their career, these mother effers act like they don't even know who I am. And I'm like, yo, my man, you know you in America because of me? And I'm like, and this is what it is. In boxing, la usan a todito. Me, yo, when I help these guys, I'm gonna tell you like this. I help a couple of these fighters out. I didn't take no finder's fee. I didn't take no finder's fee. Helped them with their contract, redline their contract, facilitated passports, all that ish. These guys act is over here in America acting like, 'cause they don't know why they're here. And I'm gonna put two and two together. I'm not gonna say the name, but everybody knows already. You've been following the channel already. You already know the guys I've helped. You already know the guys I helped. So when I'm in Miami, I'm there to support Tio, but there's other fighters out there that I did help, and they're in Miami. So when I seen them in Miami, hey, what's good? Just tapped them on the shoulder. Yo, wait, punch. And I'm looking like this, and I told one of the dudes that I know, I said, that's why I don't. That's why I don't want to fuck around and help fighters anymore. Cause those you see those two motherfuckers right there. And it's funny. It's like, como la gente sí son mal agradecido, man. For real, bro. Yo, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's because of technology. Is it a technology thing that you're becoming so much of a robot that you don't have no emotions at all? Like you don't know that you're doing something effed up because you're so stuck with a smartphone and that's your life. You become just like a smartphone. You become a machine. Like they say, "What's up?" Like if I was them, yo tengo vergüenza. I would be ashamed to be like, Diablo Punch, Diablo, pero yo no te he tirado a ti, mi hermano. Pero adrenaline, I'm gonna tell you like this in boxing. That's what it is. A bunch of fakes. A bunch of fakes. A bunch of fakes. Si tú no besas culo, tú tienes que besar culo. Now I know, and now I know how the industry is, bro. Not the industry of boxing, but the industry in the industry and entertainment and stuff like that. I believe that I do believe now that people do get Duke of behind of the behind. Porque in this industry, tú tienes que besar culo and you gotta keep your lips in their ass the whole time. You got to. That's why every all these fighters gotta be around yes men. And then nobody has the balls to tell them the truth. Or to tell them a constructive criticism or just be they don't know real people. They don't want real people. They don't want real people. It's like you remember the last what was it like a month ago, and it was me, Mill City, Zab Judah, and HLD on a panel, right? And I was trying to explain Zab Judah, yo, when you lost, I hear when fighters when they lose, their entourage shrinks because people just walk away from them, right? When you lose, you're not winning no more, right? So what do you do to vet your circle to wheel out the fakes, the leeches, you know what I'm saying? The real ones. You know what was Zab Judah said? Zab Judah said, you need them though. You need them yes men. He said the yes men is the one that helped him get back his confidence because the yes men, they will say anything, you know what I'm saying? But in all reality, the yes man is just staying close to you because when you get in the bag, they get in the bag too. And maybe like this, maybe these fighters they don't want to trust anybody because they probably don't know these new people. I could understand that as well. I could understand that. I could understand. No new friends, no new friends, no new friends. I could understand that. But I'm punch drunk boxing, no besaculo drunk. Punch drunk, no besaculo drunk. If that's what y'all, if people expecting that, man, we cool, man. You give me, I give you a space, you give me my space. I don't want to be nowhere I can't speak my mind. Cause I speak my mind. And especially if I'm rocking with you. See, look at my look at let's say my brother Demetrius Andre, right? Demetrius Andre is like, yo, man, I want that fucking rematch with David Benavidez. F that, man. I want that rematch. You know what I'm saying? As a fighter, when you lose, of course, you want that rematch. It's just like you in the street. When you lose, you want to get that get back. You know what I said? I said, forget about that call. Like, you know what? Because it's gonna go on deaf ears, bro. Now, if you would have gone the whole 12 or something like that, but people just the result is lost after the sixth or the seventh round. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't enough to grant a rematch, and especially the people want to see David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez. So if you're gonna be pressing that, it's gonna go on deaf ears, my brother. Demetrius Andre, nah, I don't give a fuck. Nah, I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? The next day, he like, yo, you right. He wasn't agreeing with me, but then you take a couple hours and then you know what I'm saying? It's true. Let's move on. Let's get that kid in plane. Jamal Charlo, Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Edgar Berlanga. There's still big fights out there. Still big fights out there. Oh, you don't think people mad? Punch. Yo, why you said, yo, Teofimo Lopez, the way that he performed versus Steve Claggett is unacceptable, yo. No. You don't think that people was mad at me for that? I said, man, to the quality of your skill set, yeah, it's unacceptable, should be unacceptable to you and everybody else. No, oh, yo me voy a quedar así de que, oh, sí, tú eres el rey, no, tú lo hiciste bueno, mi hermano, you're very, very good, you're very, very great, that is a beautiful performance, it's gonna go, that's gonna be one of the greatest moments of you. No, mi hermano, yo no soy así. Nah, 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 you better than that, bro. Nah, you was playing with your fool, my brother. Don't play with your fool, man. That's the type of opponent that you got to show out to tell the whole world you the motherfucking takeover. Cause I know that you the takeover, but I want the whole world to know who the fuck you are. You think that you think that I'm a father that I tell my son the real. It might hurt my son's feelings when he's in that basketball court. Today my son had a game. He threw a turnover. I said, Papi, hey, hey, that's it. Hey, no more. That's enough. Let's get focused, baby. Let's get focused. You think I'm gonna talk like this to my son? That I'm not even afraid of hurting his feelings in the court and stuff like that. You think that I'm a baby yo asses? Usted tan equivocado. People think I am. No, señor. Look, my son, put it this way, and this is the effect. My son was injured, right? My son. My son was injured. He's in the PA. He was in Pennsylvania in a tournament out there, AAU tournament. Said, Dad, I can't, my back, I can't play. I can't move. I can't. It hurts a lot. I said, look, son. I said, put your war game, put your war face on and go play. My son, yo, dad, you know, and I know my son, he'll play through anything, but if he's telling me he don't want to play, it's because it's hurting. I'm saying, look, when I was younger, my wrist broke. My wrist broke in three places. I had to do surgery, right? But before that, I needed to go to this camp. I broke my wrist. I had a cast from my wrist, from my hand, all the way to almost my shoulder. But I was going to this camp. I need to go to this camp because there's going to be colleges out there. And it might be my last opportunity. I was in a barber shop with my best friend, and I took before I went home. I said, I'm gonna take the cast. I'm gonna take the cast off. He said, nah, you ain't gonna do that. I went home, took a sharp ass knife, was cutting the cast, went back to the barber shop. My boy said, yo, you crazy. Why you gonna do that? Yo, you gonna F up your hand, you gonna F up your hand more. I said, man, I gotta go to this camp. I got you. If I gotta do that, I'm gonna play with my left hand. So my son knows the story. He knows my story, my past, right? So I tell him, look, let your adrenaline work for you. If you're in sports, we all know what we all have adrenaline, right? Sometimes the adrenaline makes us do something that we just can't do normal, just walking, like, you know what I'm saying? If the adrenaline, I told my son, play, let your adrenaline kick in. Your body, trust me, your body will go on game mode. It's your body as an athlete. Let's be honest. We all know the athletes that understand what I'm talking about. You could be practicing. You could go scrimmage on the practice, but game mode is your body ignites itself way different. You go after the ball differently. You score differently. Your attention, your focus is different. My son, the first game, he was hurt that was not going to play, had 17 points. The next one, 18 points. The next one, 20. The next day, 24 points. And then I tell my son, you see, you was going to sit out, right? How you feeling? Good. Exactly. But then there's other parents. Ay, pobrecito, no haga nada. Quédate ahí. Don't worry. Savage in the building was good, Savage. If I could be raw and real with my son, who makes you think I'm not gonna be real with a stranger? Or just a motherfucker I'm cool with. I'm gonna tell you just like it is. Well, you think I could hurt my own children feeling, but I can't hurt your feelings? Usted está equivocado, mi hermano. Because in the end of the day, when the smoke clears, let me tell you something about these fighters as well. Come on, man. I've been around boxing. I've been around a lot of fighters and stuff like that since I was 11 years old. Let me tell you something. That yes, boxing is a lonely sport, but it's not only a lonely sport when shit is all said and done. But let me tell you like this: boxing is and not only when you losing either. Boxing is a lonely sport when you winning. See, let me tell you like this, folks. Not everybody is Canelo Alvarez. Not everybody is Floyd Mayweather. The regular champions that you see right now, even as champions, they're still lonely. Let me give you the hype how it is. So, you know what I'm saying? They in training camp. Nobody knows who they really are. A lot of people, yeah, some people here and there they know. And then it's leading up to the fight. So now when it's leading up to the fight week, now they're celebrities. Now they're in Vegas and everybody's saying, "Hey, how you doing? What's good? Such and such, what's good? Can I take a picture with you? Can I take a picture with you?" Fight week, they're celebrities. By Thursday night after they fight, win, lose, or draw, they're just a regular person. Let them walk through Vegas, through the strip, and people gonna go, "Oh yeah, you who? Who?" They ain't even gonna know you. Well, all the posters are down and stuff like that. Go walk in New York City to see. Come to my city. Matter of fact, you think that you famous? Come to my city. I want you to walk around. Let me see. So I can give you a reality check. I'll give you a reality check. Let me see if you already know. Punch. What I think about Ben Whitaker? Ben Whitaker is my guy. Ben Whitaker is the man. Thriller say y'all can't sleep for ish. Good looking out Thriller in the building. What's good, man? When it's all said, look, fighters, friends of fighters, cousins of fighters that's probably listening to the show tonight. When it's all said and done, all them fake mother effers gonna go away. Let me tell you something about certain friendship I have in boxing. If I'm talking to Tio, I'm just not talking to Tio about boxing. I'm talking about life. To be honest, I'm more concerned, and I'll support him way more in his life, whether it's family, whether it's fatherhood. How's the prince? How's your king and stuff like that? I'm more concerned and looking forward what he does and outside of the ring. I already know that he's the man inside of the ring. Demetrius Andre, we barely talk about boxing. Talks about fatherhood. He a clan. We got the same personality. That's why we cool like that. When I used to talk to Ryan Garcia, so we DM and on Twitter DM several times in the years. Any conversation I had with Ryan Garcia had nothing to do with boxing. Till today, I never had a conversation with Ryan Garcia about boxing. Till today, I'm being honest. I never had a conversation with Ryan Garcia about boxing. Everything has been about fatherhood, Jesus Christ, and him not liking the pedos and gays and all that stuff. Those are the conversations I had with Ryan Garcia. Never about boxing. To this day, I never had a conversation with him about boxing. Then there's others that are very, very cool. You know what I'm saying? Coach Larry Wade, dope brother, one of the coolest brothers. Coach Kevin Cunningham, dope brother. Coach Anthony, my guy. Donaires, dope. Cam Porter, dope. You are so good, Ryan. I think you have a good friendship. I mean, look, cause I come from I come from a real perspective. You got to understand also this what it is, man. Let me tell you something about this about boxing as well. There's so much around fake mother effers that it gets to the point they don't even know what's real. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like Ryan is around a bunch of fake mother effers that at this point he don't know what's real. He don't have the conscience to know what's real or what's fake anymore. And I think like there's a lot of fighters. Let me tell you another thing about about certain circles. You got to understand in these circles that yes, there wasn't people. The new people that are around wasn't around in the trenches when they was getting molded and built up. You understand? They wasn't getting molded by. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't with me. You wasn't with me when I was shooting in the gym. But then when they get to a certain stage, they have new friends, new business handlers, new people that just comes into the team that's hired to the team or whatever, right? Guess what? The people that helped them get to the position that where they at right now, they're trying to stay in place. Yet in reality, some of these fighters have outgrown those who have helped. That's like you staying with your kindergarten teacher your whole life. You have different teachers, right? You got middle school, you got high school, you got college. You get different perspective, right? There's certain fighters that just move on to. I want to get a better nutritionist. I want a better strength and conditioning coach. I want a better trainer. I want a better circle. I want to, you know what I'm saying? But those people, they would do anything to stay in position. And when I mean about anything to stay in position, if somebody comes close to the golden one, meaning the fighter, and that fighter acknowledges this new person and feel like, damn, I can incorporate this person into my life. Those that was there, they're gonna be like, whoa, all right, man, we're gonna lose precision. There's certain fighters that can get better because those around them wouldn't even let the real one that will help them and enhance them, elevate them. Nah, we don't need that person. Yo, I think I like that. I think that person is cool. Nah, nah, nah. We don't need. Nah, he ain't cool. Man, I could do that with. I could do that for you. Ain't nobody trying to lose no that. They ain't trying to lose that 5%, 10%, 20%. Ain't nobody trying to lose that. Ain't nobody trying to lose that. What are we talking about? So yeah, man, I think this is effed up. I think this conversation that Roy Jones Jr. and Steven Jackson had was effed up, not incorporating Teofimo Lopez as the. And matter of fact, maybe there is no such thing as the four kings. But let me say it like this: there's only one king in his respective division, and that's Teofimo Lopez. There's only one king. There's only one lineal champion out of everybody in that picture. Tank never been a king. Ryan never been a king. Devin, you could say after the George Camboso fight, right? Shakur never been a king. T.O. been a king at 135 and 140. And currently still is the king, the lineal champion. So I think that was a slap in the face by Steven Jackson. I'm not gonna say Roy Jones Jr. because Roy Jones Jr. is being interviewed and if you watch the interview, Steven Jackson is just saying names. He said, "What do you think about the four kings?" And then he mentions Steven Jackson has his own perspective on who's the four kings. Now let's talk about this right quick, ladies and gentlemen. So Devin Haney is not on the pound for pound list on the ESPN, and I said earlier that we should take this into consideration and we could take this serious because it's a panelist. It's not one person that's deciding this pound for pound list. Now, of course, I got my different pound for pound list, but the one, two, and three, we can honestly say that is already taken. Like One, two, and three, you can flip it around however you want it. That's the three. And you could add Canelo Alvarez as the four. I'm not gonna have Dimitri Bivol as my four. No, I still have Canelo Alvarez as four. I have Bam Rodriguez slid him in five with his performance versus Juan Francisco Estrada. You put Teofimo Lopez six. You put Beterbiev seven. You put maybe Dimitri Bivol eight. You put Shakur Stevenson, or you put Shakur Stevenson there. Tank will not be on my pound for pound list. He hasn't done anything pound for pound like for put him in the pound for pound list. But Devin Haney is not on the pound for pound list, in which he was on the pound for pound list. As a matter of fact, in the last pound for pound list, they had him number five. Before this, the new one, they had Devin Haney pound for pound number five. Now, why Devin Haney is not there? Why Devin Haney is not on the pound for pound list? He should be on the pound for pound list, and because people felt, I mean, just because there is a no contest, he got his old back. So why would they take him out the pound for pound list? And this is what I said in the beginning. In the beginning, when everything just came down with Ryan Garcia popping for Osterman and stuff like that, and we understood that the Osterman he had in his system was not enough for him to be enhanced, right? Was not enough for being enhanced. It's because everybody knows, and this is what I was trying to say. That people say, "Oh, you a Devin Haney hater." No, I'm keeping it real. See, this is another thing. See, I'm keeping it real. The Haney's men not like what I'm saying, but that's just the truth. People don't see it as Ryan Garcia was cheating. Now, the fact is that he had Osterman in the system, but people don't look at Ryan Garcia as a cheater. Most people don't. Most people don't feel like that in his system, that 1 billionth of a gram Osterman, that really doesn't, Osterman doesn't even elevate testosterone. If you really educate yourself about Osterman, you would know that that shit is not going to do nothing. Skills beat Devin Haney, and people understand that, and the panelists understand that. Only one person, and I think it was like, what, 16, 18 panelists of writers, only Mike Compinger voted for Devin Haney as a 10th place in his pound for pound list when they tallied up the the names. Not one other outside of Mike Compinger, not one writer chose Devin Haney in the pound for pound list, which means what I've been saying would justify what I said. That it don't matter, Devin Haney. Stop bitching, stop moaning. Forget about your attorney writing letters to the New York City Athletic Commission. It doesn't matter if Ryan Garcia is suspended. It doesn't matter if Ryan Garcia need to go to rehab. It doesn't matter. In the end of the day, most of the boxing fans, 90% feels like you lost. And the people that got the power of the pen feels like you lost too. And that's why you out the pound for pound list. You got an imaginary O. Everybody could go to the to the highlights. Everybody could go to the fight. It's still up in the zone, on the zone. You lost to Ryan Garcia. It is what it is. But that doesn't mean that you stay a loser. And that's what people should be preaching Devin Haney. That's what the Devin Haney fans should be preaching. If you understand the history of the sport of boxing, we're always thinking about, oh, this other fighter from the history. You all wish that fighters are like back in the days. But you know what fighters did back in the days? The one that we love and we admire is that most of them, all of them, lost outside of Floyd Mayweather, outside of Andre Ward, Joe Kawasaki, all of them lost. So we all had the opportunity and we witnessed how these great fighters overcome their loss. Just like Sugar Ray Leonard versus Roberto Duran. Just like Muhammad Ali. Just like Sugar Ray Robinson. Just like Mike Tyson. Just like Shane Mosley. Just like Oscar De La Hoya. Just like Bernard Hopkins. Just like every great fighter. Every great fighter took an L, just like, hey, Roy Jones Jr. took that disqualification L, and then what he did, just like Antonio Tarver when he lost to Roy Jones Jr. the first fight, and then in the second fight he knocked out Roy Jones Jr. So all Devin Haney has to do is go back to the drawing board, but before going to the drawing board, of course, you got to get knuckle implants and stuff like that. But go back to the drawing board and do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Become a winner again. Regis Prograis did it. Regis Prograis did it. He lost to Josh Taylor, lost, then beat William Cepeda and became a WBC champion again. He did it. Jamel Charlo did it in 154 and still became, he lost to Tony Harrison and eventually became an undisputed 154-pound champion. He got his get back. Anthony Joshua did it after the Andy Ruiz, got his rematch, and he did what he had to do. So it's not the end. And let me say it like this, to be honest, I think that Tyson Fury is going to be Alexander Usyk. I'm saying it right now. Tyson Fury is going to be Alexander Usyk in the rematch. I think so. I think so. I mean, more people gonna predict Usyk, and I'm a matter of fact, I'll be rooting for Usyk. I just feel like Tyson Fury didn't do a lot of the things that he's capable of doing versus Usyk, and I think that him knowing he got a rematch, and him knowing that the possibility of time Muhammad Ali to become a three-time heavyweight champion of the world, to become a three-time heavyweight champion of the world, I think that he's gonna do it. So yeah, we talked about the William Cepeda, the William Cepeda versus Shakur Stevenson. I think that's a good fight. Like I said again, I think that's just as intriguing as the Tank and the Loma. I think Shakur would give massive credit for being William Cepeda because William Cepeda right now is looking like a beast. If Shakur Stevenson makes William Cepeda, look, I think that he could do the same thing he did to Oscar Valdez. I think that William Cepeda is more dangerous, but I think it's going to be good for Shakur Stevenson. And for William Cepeda, if he beats Shakur Stevenson, I think it'll be the best win since Lomachenko beat. I'm sorry, it'll be the best since Teofimo Lopez beat Vasily Lomachenko if he beats Shakur Stevenson. If William Cepeda beats Shakur Stevenson. Hopefully, I hope that Oscar de la Hoya does not make Cepeda duck Shakur Stevenson. I understand Shakur Stevenson is still a free agent, and maybe that's the reason why he's trying to, you know, get him signed to Golden Boy promotion for several fights. And to be honest, I think that Shakur Stevenson can. He should. Why not? Why not? Why not sign? You got Bernard Hopkins pumping you. Why not sign? They give you William Cepeda. Why not? I think it's a good idea. Cepeda fighting the winner of Tank versus Loma. That's why Oscar said that. Chasing after the tank. Chasing after the tank. Shakur outboxes Cepeda easy. Yeah, I think I got Shakur in that fight. But I'm just saying, I'm just flipping a coin on both. You know what I'm saying? What would happen if Shakur wins or what Cepeda wins, and what would it mean to them or in the sport of boxing in the lightweight division? What would be more impressive? What would be more impressive? Tank winning a decision versus Loma or Shakur winning a decision versus Cepeda? What would be more impressive? Fact, Shakur got a body him. I think that's what Tank gonna have to do with Loma to get credit. Cause I know they're gonna treat like Tank is the second coming of Jesus Christ when he beat Loma. I know that's how they're gonna promote it. Maton said, even if it did a 400K with Tank and Benavides, that's a effing flop. I don't know what Canelo Alvarez gonna do. So is he really gonna fight Chris Eubanks Jr.? Is that really gonna be the fight for Canelo Alvarez? Are y'all happy with the Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Canelo Alvarez? Then the second half of boxing ain't gonna look too great. Who would David Benavidez fight? And we don't know. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Canelo? Damn, bro. Damn. I'd rather Canelo Alvarez fight Demetrius Andre, bro. What y'all rather watch? Canelo versus Andre or Canelo versus Chris Eubank Jr.? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know if I could keep approving these fights, to be honest, man. Me as a Canelo Alvarez fan, man, uh, I didn't like the John Ryder fight. I didn't like the Triple G, the trilogy fight. I didn't want to see that. Nah, I didn't want to see it. I'm not liking how Canelo Alvarez is moving. I think he's taking the page out of Gervonta Tank Davis. Lisa said, I'd rather see Canelo versus Berlanga than Eubank. What you think about Farmer and Muradaya? I think Muradaya is a work in process. He ain't ready. Nah, he ain't ready for the elite. See, there's certain fighters that I haven't really dialed into because I don't see anything really, really special. You know, when I was talking about Boots 6 years ago, I told you he was gonna be special. I was talking about Tio, the captain of the generation, the commander in chief. I told y'all he was gonna be doing something special. I think Kid Austin is gonna be a champion. Who else I was talking about? I'm talking about Ben Whitaker. Remember I talked about Keyshawn Davis before he even turned pro. I've talked about Whitaker before he even turned pro. Um, LD Cedeno Martinez. I think he's gonna be doing this thing as well. Um, I've called him. I called it the Earl Spence 2.0. Keyshawn stops. I don't know if Keyshawn stops Murataya, but I think Keyshawn beats him. I don't have high hopes for Raymond. I don't have high hopes for just like I didn't have high hopes for Tony. I mean Montana Love. For me, the most waste of talent that I've seen of this young era. The number one waste of talent is Chris Colbert, in my opinion. With all his skill set, he's become a waste of talent. I don't understand where he got into in terms of not taking boxing serious. I think that if you look at the skill set of Chris Colbert, skillfully, he is not where he's supposed to be. He was supposed to be a champion, but I think that's the biggest, let's say, waste of talent, waste of career has been Gary Russell Jr. Waste of talent is Chris Colbert. Waste of career was Gary Russell. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to do a quick live and talk about that as well. Probably when I got time tomorrow morning. Tank is almost 30. I remember when he was 24. Crazy. Facts. ES News keep posting about Raya going to stop Pitbull Cruz and they Rayo versus Pitbull Cruz. Who you got? Pitbull Cruz. I never thought too much highly about Rayo either. So I got Pitbull. I got Pitbull Cruz beating him. But I'm back at it tomorrow. Love y'all. God bless. And on to the next.